Join us live right here on the FearFishing Experiment.
The FearFishing Experiment.
Report suspicious activities and call 911 for immediate response. Expect delays, searches of personal property, and restricted access to public buildings. Expect traffic delays and restrictions.
Oh, jumping. That's a football. Man, on a smallmouth bass. Hold that up. Shot. Oh my gosh, that's a big fish.
You know what? It turned out into like cinematic genius. So it's just beautiful.
The idea is just keep rolling.
Navigating your way on and off the water. Now, here's your host, Ian West.
Good evening. Welcome to the FearFishing Experiment. I muted myself for some reason. How's it going, boys?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Welcome to the show. Welcome to 108. How are you guys?
Sorry. What's up?
Buddy?
How's it
I'm
going?
beat.
You're beat?
Oh, yeah. This back
Yeah?
at it stuff's really got to me. I think I got a little comfortable in that 9 weeks I was off.
You got called back to work on Monday.
Yeah,
You're
Yeah.
now essential.
I guess. Yeah, barely
You guess?
essential.
Barely
Yeah,
essential?
semi-essential. I don't know what they're calling it, but I'm sure the term will come out soon enough.
Anybody's got questions, comments, remember to get them in on the live feed. I'm watching the YouTube. I hope somebody is watching the Facebook. But that a boy.
That a
Sean's on
boy.
it. Sean's always on it. Happy Memorial Day to everybody in the United States watching. Last weekend we had Victoria Day. So sorry we missed you, but I'm kind of glad that we're back to the 2-week schedule because there's actually things to do.
Yeah, a little bit more to talk. It's hard when you're not doing too much, right?
No, when you're
Yeah.
stuck around. I got a question for you guys.
Sure.
Why are we still celebrating Victoria Day? Have we just not updated, or we haven't come up with a new name for Victoria, Queen Victoria Day?
Hey, they're trying to change it. They changed the anthem. Let's not change Victoria Day's name too. What else are you going to call it?
I don't know. Queen, maybe we'll change it to Queen Elizabeth Day here.
I thought it was May 2-4.
Well, that's the official.
That's what the beer store
Recognized.
calls it.
Right?
May 2-4.
Yeah, the week
Yeah.
before the 24th.
The week before the 24th. The
Yeah,
last
that was messed
walleye
up
opener.
this year. Yeah, it was messed up this year, eh? Because the closest weekend would have been this weekend that just went past, but our long weekend was last weekend, which was messed up.
Yeah, the
Not really
first
the
the first was a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
great for
Saturday of the
walleye
month,
fishing.
I guess. Eh?
Well,
Yeah.
it wasn't that great for walleye fishing. It
Well,
would have been great for walleye
yeah.
fishing.
There have been some current.
There
boat
been some
launches.
current. Well, let's jump right into there. Walleye fishing has been extremely slow. Mark is the king of walleyes in 2020.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
He had a good day on the water the first day we were out on rice, but there's no current in the Trent system at all right now.
No.
Yeah, no. Apparently, from what I hear, the lady that has been running the whole water system let a lot of water out. Started in January, letting water come down through, and you know, didn't do it right this year.
Did
So
you get us
There's
up
nothing
at
left.
your camp?
Lakes right now are at August levels.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
that
pretty
low,
low.
yeah.
They're pretty low.
they are pretty low.
Yeah.
And was there as much snow at the camp this year as in the past? Like,
Yeah. There was still there was enough precipitation to have it, but she was afraid of having the flooding we had last year, right?
Yeah.
And like it's scary stuff, the stuff that happened last year, and it was not the year before that, but the year like 3 years
the
ago.
preview, yeah.
It happened as well. Remember, we were up in Minden. It was flooded out.
We had
But,
200-year floods in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're like 3-year floods, not 200-year floods.
Yeah, we
Well,
spent a
they-
lot of time down at the shores of Lake Ontario there in Bowmanville doing sandbags.
I was down there bagging.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
spent a
know
lot of time down
about
there.
you guys, but it seems to me like every year that they do this trend and letting the water out, it's like it's their first time ever doing it. I don't think they've ever got it like it's either high or it's low.
Low.
Yeah.
Like it's
You know what I
really,
mean?
really low.
Well,
Like,
just
to the
imagine
fact-
all the different lakes you got to manage, and
Yeah.
must be quite a
water.
job to undertake.
But I feel this
I
year
know, but-
they went way too far with the holding the water back or whatever they've done. This has got to have affected the walleye spawn
I
in
would think
numerous
so.
ways.
Yeah.
The current, right? They need the current to spawn and to find those eddies to protect their eggs. I think
Yeah.
that some of the water is so low that a lot of eggs are going to get sunburned.
Well, I think they'll probably just spawn in different places, maybe in that area, but different places. They're not going to just like waste them. They're smarter than that, I would think.
I was at the Trent River where we walleye fished on opening day. It's hard to believe that 2 weeks ago it snowed. Now it's 28 degrees today.
Yeah.
And
29 I saw, yeah.
I went silver bass fishing with Emma. We caught quite a few fish, but I went all the way almost to the lock, and there was less water than there was last year at the FLW Canada Cup.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, like you could see bottom the whole way. And so I don't know how well the walleye spawn would have went there because it's low, 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 low. I'm talking usually where I can like not worry about hitting rocks and stuff. Like there was rocks exposed.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was insane. I'd never seen water up there that low this early in the year. Usually it's up at least 2 feet and the current's whipping through there.
I've never seen Otonabee in the spring like it was when we were there.
No, there
Never.
was nothing. The
No.
wind, just a little bit of wind was blowing us up to the river.
Yeah, Mike Schuler just said that there's a massive amount of zebra mussels just outside of Goose Bay on Sturgeon Lake. He actually called Mark, and I was at
Yeah, he
Mark
did.
when he come off the water there. He said he's never seen it before. He says it killed off a lot of the natural grass, and there was actually a lot of dead fish he's seen that day all over the
Yeah.
bottom.
And they weren't floating like you'd think. They said they were like on the bottom and like nothing was touching them. I don't know if they got frozen in there or I don't. Who
I got
knows,
I
right?
got a good comment here from the Canadian Broadfather. It says, look at the swagger on how Mark's sitting, knowing he's the walleye king.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not done. We'll talk about that later. I'm sure I'll have a couple comments here and there throughout
Well,
the
make
year.
make good on the.
Oh, I will.
I can't believe how low the water is now. When Emma and I were silver bass fishing, it's kind of strange because 2 months ago I was really, really, really worried that like when things are up in the air that we may not get to fish at all. Like it was a real possibility that this was not happening. So Sunday, while Emma and I were hanging out doing the silver bass, right near where you caught your giant mark, I saw a smallmouth swim by that had to be 7 and change. And I was like, I'm ready for this. Like this can't come soon enough. Right? Like that's the first hint that I really like a little more bounce in my step. I've got a ton of vitamin D in me now. And I was like, man, I really want to bass fish like this. That we're getting close.
Well, that's what I've been doing for Sean as he's helping me with the pool. I'm trying to work on his vitamin D, his intake, his balance and stuff. I wanted to get him like up there because we've all been in the house. So
Yeah.
had him baking in the sun yesterday.
Back to that. You were saying you were wondering if it affect the walleye spawn. Kayla Luca, she's up in Thunder Bay, and she said it's affected it up there. It's been very slow.
Really?
Yeah. So all the way up north.
So here I got a question for you guys, and this goes right across the board for all the species. When we went opening day of walleye, the water was 46. 2 weeks now, I heard the water's at 68. Do you think that with not having a gradual warm is going to affect everything? Because now all of a sudden it's summer. It's not spring anymore.
We've had a couple hot days, but I don't think it's.
If the weather stays
really
like this, it'll warm up.
Pardon?
if the weather stays like this, it'll warm
It'll
up. I
warm
was
up,
talking
sure.
to JP.
It's at 68 degrees right now, Rice Lake, as of
Yeah,
today.
yeah. I was
Which
talking
is-
to JP
which should be
yesterday, and he
normal,
said that
right?
Erie's a month behind.
Right?
Yeah.
Would
I
that
wonder what the
typically
water
be
temperature is
normal?
there.
Yeah,
Is that kind of
he
normal what
said
it would be this time of year?
He said it was low 50s, and he says when he's usually up there this weekend because he does the Victoria Day every year, or the weekend after with the American holiday. What was it again? The American one?
Memorial Day.
He does the Memorial Day down there every year with a bunch of guys. They go out, and he says it's the coldest he's ever seen it. Right?
Really?
Right, and he's been doing it, I think, for like 13 years straight.
Erie's big to warm up. Like to get one of those lakes, it's not like with Rice or the Bay of Plenty.
No.
That's a big body
Big
of
body
water.
of water, yeah.
So that just goes to show, like 2 weeks ago when it was snowing, I wonder how cold it was then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy how fast it warmed up. I was out on Rice the last week for a few hours, found no walleye, found a whole bunch of crappy weed. I could hardly find any milfoil anywhere. It's not the same Rice Lake that it used to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't look the same. Even when it comes to bass fishing, it doesn't fish like it used to.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have really good weed growth this year because the water's so low, right?
No, we saw good
Well,
weed out there too, right? I know it's
Yeah,
That's
not
the
always weed and
that's the
stuff, but
invasive
there's some
weed.
Good weed.
The stuff that looks like Christmas trees.
No,
So
we
ten-
found
no,
we
no.
found some nice milfoil.
Yeah?
We
for
were
sure.
ripping it up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were ripping it up.
I found one spot that had really good milfoil almost to the surface. If you look back 10 years ago, there would have been none of that invasive weed. All those weed beds would have been real thick milfoil by now.
Hmm.
And it seems to be being pushed out and showing up later in the season. I don't know what that weed's called, but it looks kind of like Christmas trees.
Well,
Yeah, I know what
last
you're
year the
talking
water
about.
was so high. Last year the water was so high, the weed growth got pushed off, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like we were crazy high last year, crazy high.
Here's
Like
yeah, it was crazy. Like not.
We were lucky to have docks open. Like the dock was closed last year at Harris, wasn't it, for opener, for walleye opener, because the water was so high.
I think that I think they were open, but a lot of places didn't have their docks in.
Yeah,
Like it was just a launch with no docks.
yeah.
2 years ago, the first time I'd ever seen the water hit 84 degrees in Ontario. Next week, I believe the low is 21 degrees. There's a couple 26 and 27 degrees. Do you think we hit the 80 degree? Like if this continues throughout the season, do we hit 80 degrees early?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
Joseph Felice says Erie was 54 this past Saturday, and Phil Haggerty says that Simcoe was 58 on Saturday. Well, the water's still pretty cold. Those
So
big
Rice
bodies of
was
water.
68.
68. I heard from Mr.
68?
Mercer Marine. It was 68 degrees the other Sunday or Saturday afternoon.
That's like bass
I
spawning.
don't
you know?
believe that. That's wow.
I was
Yeah,
over
but it
with
only makes
Mr.
sense. Rice is not that deep of a lake. There's a couple spots that get into the 20 feet. The rest of it's basically, that's why it has such great, like in the summertime when those milfoil beds come in, they're gigantic. That's because it's so shallow. Those flats are huge.
Yeah, I got a question here on Facebook from Jamie Free. He says, "Hey guys, question. Now that we're able to get on the lakes with all the beautiful sunshine out, it is quite easy to spot large bass and muskie. Do you think they will stay in the area, or that they are gone? Do you think they'll stay in the area now, or they'll be long gone come opener?"
I wouldn't say they'd
That's
be
a good
long
question.
gone.
I don't think they travel as much as people think they do.
Yeah.
I think that they don't really. So I haven't seen a ton of bass spawning because there's no real reason to be up in 2 feet of water this time of year. But I do know that basically what the pattern is supposed to be, they'll move up, spawn, and then they'll drop back and sit on the first drop off and do their pelt thing. And that's usually right when our season opens.
And
They're
I think
usually
the females go there first, I believe.
Yes, and the males protect the beds, and then they kind of they go to where they're going to hang out. Some bass go shallow, some bass go and find, that's when they do. No, I don't know that a largemouth would travel 4 or 5 miles to go find a dog.
No.
In my opinion, I think that a big female would do her jam up on a shoreline somewhere, drop off to her pout, and then move somewhere in that general area, maybe like a square kilometer. But I could be totally wrong. But day of bass fishing.
So here's a question for you. Do you think that by having tournaments and taking all the fish in a live release boat and releasing them in the lake, do you think those fish go back to where they were caught?
So here's what, and I've thought about this a whole lot because a lot of our tournament lakes are getting tougher and tougher and tougher. I do know from Mr. Brandon Polnick, chatting with him, that he did some tagging in Idaho, where watching fish, and he thinks that fish return all the time. I just got a text message from Andrew Mercer saying 64 degrees on Rice. Fact check for me.
That sounds better.
Yeah, that sounds better. Yeah.
I got a feeling that when you move all those bass, how long does it actually take for them to get, if they're returning back? Let's say you take a bass from Hastings, you weigh it in Bewdley, and then you let it go somewhere out by Grape Island. That fish, I don't think, knows the straight path back to where he was from. I wonder how many fish in a summer are just moving around trying to find out. Maybe it takes 18 months for them to find their home base. And I think they go back because I've talked about this before. I was in Brighton Bay. I landed a fish that was 5'6", and it had a Queen's University tag in it. It was weighed in 2012 at the Belleville Big Bass Champions, done its collection. It weighed 5'1", I believe, at the time. And then it was released. So in 2 years, it made its way back down the Murray Canal. And then I caught it and called it in.
Is that where it originally came
and
from?
That's where it was originally caught in there. I don't know what's going on there. But they told me it was originally caught in Brighton Bay. So, and that's a big run for a bass swimming. And how long was he there? I don't know. So I have a feeling that 150 and an 18-footer used to be the standard in bass fishing. Mm-hmm. As our boats get bigger and faster, we're moving fish further and further. Like if you think about it, like Erie, if you were fishing a tournament there, how far could you possibly move a smallmouth? 40, 50 miles?
Oh, easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Not more.
I don't remember who told me, but there was a Queen's University thing where they let a smallmouth go.
Yep.
And it went like around the Murray Canal out into Brighton Bay, and then came back through the Murray Canal and went down through the channel, and then finally made its way back out to the Duck Islands over a long period of time. I can't remember for the life of me who told me about this, but it was really interesting, like because they have the GPS trackers in them. They can get like pings of where they were, and that fish basically swam around till he found his way home. So
well, maybe you know what? Here's a thought. It might be stupid, but you know those fish, those roaming fish?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they do. Maybe there's some fish that roam all the time, and then maybe there's some fish that are lazy and they like that dock. Or maybe they take a a tour, and then they find somewhere to rest, and they take a tour, and it's fine.
I really believe on a lot of lakes that 4 and 5 pound smallmouths like to school up, but you always hear about when guys bring a super freak smallmouth in, it was by itself roaming around. Like when they get big, that they become kind of nomad fish, is my belief. You'll pick them up in weird spots, and they're just ginormous by themselves. But that's a great question. How much is driving fish around, Sean, affecting the fish? Like, how long would it take to get from the Scugog River back from Port Perry as a fish, if that's where you were headed? A year?
I'm not even sure.
I don't know.
No idea.
But it would make a lot of sense, because a lot of our good spots that are not good anymore, there doesn't seem to be fish there. And the Otonabee River, how many fish have been moved out of the Otonabee River and didn't go back up the river?
Ton.
Do you know what I mean? And guys seem to be catching them in new spots and new parts of the lake, so maybe they're just moving to there.
Right.
That's certainly a deep question, and man, the bigger and faster boats get, the farther away fish are going to get moved.
Not my boat.
Not in your boat, Mark?
No, I'm still carbureted. You know, I don't have much travel in my boat.
Speaking of boats, I got a hell of a job coming up.
Yeah, you do. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I took my my boat over to Mercer Marine there on the weekend. What day was it? Saturday?
Yes.
I guess it was Saturday.
Saturday it was. Yep, for sure.
Saturday.
Yeah, we ended up taking a look at it. So, I pulled up. I thought, Andrew and his dad would, just look at it. We talk about it. Man, that guy pulled out the tools and we ripped the bottom end off. We ripped the cowling off. We started taking that thing right apart. And we got a real good look at what we had to be done. So it's right at the bottom of the steering shaft. There's these two like keepers that are missing. Yeah, it should be visible. And that nut we were looking at, Mark?
Yeah.
That big nut? Well, underneath that nut, there's supposed to be like these two keepers, right? So, we're looking at it, and I'm looking at the schematic, and I'm like, where are those pieces? They're not even there. So to replace those pieces, we have to remove the power head.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you're talking two
you.
small little pieces like this, but to get there, it's a hell of a process.
How much do those two pieces cost?
Well, I'll tell you something. The actual two pieces, I think it was $30 for them both, and I ended up ordering $1,000 worth of parts because there's stuff we're going through while we're getting there that might as well be swapped out, and we might as well change stuff on the way there.
Are you getting all the components that are in that off that shaft?
Oh yeah, everything, all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I'm not
ordering, if it's been bouncing on one, it's been bouncing on all.
Yeah,
right?
we're taking it all out. We're gonna do the upper motor mounts. We're gonna do there's also like a rubber grommet mount that goes on top of the steering shaft too. I'm gonna replace that. I was looking at it today. It's had a lot of weight on it from the motor sitting on it, right? So
yeah.
We're gonna get ourselves into a job. It looks like not this weekend, but probably the following weekend by the time I get all the parts and get Mark Hunter's pool done.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say you're busy on the weekend. There's no time for boats.
This is that's a big job, but this is something you talked about in the past that you'd like to own a boat shop.
Yeah, I got a passion for fixing things and building things and tearing stuff apart and figuring out why it doesn't work, right? There's
We talked
nothing
about this last night.
Yeah, there's nothing I can't build. If I got a piece of paper that shows me a drawing for it, I can get there, right?
So as much of a big job this is, you must be kind of excited to see the guts of this thing.
Oh, I'm super pumped. And to be able to do it with the Mercers too, right? They're a couple of brainiacs.
Yeah, for sure they are. They fixed my trailer on the weekend.
Yeah.
Your cost just went down there, but keep it going. Keep the compliments flowing.
So I should mention out there that Mercer Marine is an essential business. It's open for business. They are doing, if you need your electronics hooked up, you need your trolling motor hooked up, you can text me. I will triage your situation. And if I think that it's something Andrew would be interested in, I will pass the phone number along. We've had 4 or 5 people in the last week ask for Andrew's number. I have to triage and talk them into it. But yeah, if you got a troll motor or you need your units hooked up and installed, Mr. Mercer Marine is on the job. Kind of. Yeah. Depending on what it is.
Yeah, well, my job's insanely huge, right? And I told
so
him,
if you want your stuff done, get it before
before John Boat shows up.
Yeah, no. But I told him, I know it's a big job, right? And he's like, don't worry about it. Bring it over. We'll get into it.
They are truly the best. There wouldn't be a FearFishing if it wasn't for Andrew and Bob.
Exactly. You wouldn't have a boat anymore.
There wouldn't.
Yeah, it would be a shore fishing show.
And you know what? I've got into a couple jams before where I needed my boat fixed like right now for the next morning. And I've been there at 10 o'clock at night while those two tried to fix something to get back on the water. So huge shout out to Mercer Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to the fish traveling thing, Joseph Felice here on Facebook said that They've tagged fish at the Canadian Tire Lake Erie Open.
Yeah.
Caught originally in Lake Erie, and then been recaught back in Lake Erie. And they've swam all the way from Chippewa Creek. Turn right
I know
away
where
from
Chippewa- I
Niagara
know where
Falls,
Chippewa-
all the
yeah,
way
yeah,
back up the Niagara River, all the way back to Lake Erie.
Anybody ever gets a chance to fish that tournament? I think Jason Clay still runs it. I fished that event once. That's an amazingly fun event. I know where Chippewa Creek is for sure, but that's a heck of a swim.
We have another comment here.
It's a long way.
It is.
Somebody's wondering if one of us won the Cooper's trick shot challenge.
No,
I
I
didn't-
wasn't even nominated.
I didn't even get nominated.
No,
Sean, did
me
you win?
neither.
Hey,
Did you win? I didn't text Cooper and give him a hard time about it, though.
no, I didn't. I don't want to win any prizes, man. You
Yeah.
know?
Did you ever like fished out of Chippewa?
Yeah, that's where they do the weigh-in. Yep.
Yeah, so you got to go down up that big, huge river, and then onto the main river, and then out, right? To
Is
get
that
to
where
Erie.
they
That's a
have the
long way.
OBN? The
That's a
OBN
really long way.
tournament? Is that where they have the OBN tournament for the national contender, the fundraiser?
They had it at Chippewa one year. Yeah, it was there
It's
one
a
year.
long run
You
to
know,
the
that was
lake.
really cool. We're like all the bass boats are taxing up, and there's people. They go to one end of the Chippewa, and they get in their little inner tubes, man, and they float for miles and miles, and they get picked up like down the river. It really cool.
Other than
Really
St.
cool.
Francis, that's the only place I can remember being in like a gigantic river in the middle of it. You see like current waves, like real in
That's
40,
the main river,
40
right?
feet
The
of,
main
yeah,
river.
like in 40
Yeah.
feet of water. You can see
Yeah.
like the current ripping.
Yeah.
Well, we're
That's a
talking
crazy
about
run.
Lake Erie right now. If you're a Canadian and you're planning on going to Lake Erie right now, remember the borders are closed till June 21st. Kyle Clemson was out there yesterday, and the Border Patrol escorted him back to the Canadian line border on the water. They don't want Canadians
heard
over
that.
there. Yeah.
No,
Well,
I
I thought it
saw
was
a Facebook
you just
post.
couldn't. I thought you just weren't allowed to anchor or
No,
shore
man.
or tie
No,
off.
no. You're
No.
not allowed to cross that line in the water, that imaginary
Really, eh?
line. They will bring you back. Yeah.
I did hear that they weren't mean about it or anything like that.
No.
They just escorted the boats back. They said that they were just following orders in the post I saw.
Yep.
Well, that's
Yep,
good to
so-
know. Like if anybody's planning on going down there, that'll save you an escorted trip back.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm getting during the quarantine, Amber is now painting. I'm taking some heat on YouTube here because I'm not painting.
You took some heat from me earlier.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not a very good hands-on guy. I wouldn't fix my own boat motor. I wouldn't build a barn. So if I go,
I
in
wouldn't
there,
let you put air in tires. Jesus
No,
Christ.
No,
because we know you can't change one.
No, I didn't. I called Mercer Murray.
I know.
But if I went in there and helped her, she'd just yell at me the whole time and then tell me to get lost. So I'm really saving her some heartache and some fixing work. At least I'm honest. If she
Yeah,
needed
yeah.
a video edited on how to paint, I could do that for her.
You
There you
go in
go.
there, you pick up the roller, you start rolling, you get
Oh,
it
no,
all
not
over
this house.
everywhere, and then she never asks you again.
Well, I painted the hallway going down the stairs, and I was standing on a chair trying to paint the one section, and I stood back and I put my whole foot in the paint. And Amber's never brought up painting to me again.
Perfect.
Sean, are you
We-
excited to get that boat running?
Well, it's been almost 2 years since it's been in the water. Like it was all year last year, and then the time it sat before that, right? So
Yep.
it's well over a year and a half that boat's been sitting there. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I brought it home. I pulled the cover off it. I was expecting a mess inside it, and it was just as I left it, man. It was beautiful. I
Nice.
took some care in the cover. I made sure I waterproofed it and stuff. And I tented all
Yep.
up so it won't hold water anywhere. You get no ponding on it, right? So that was really important when I stored it. So it was yeah, it turned out really good. I shop vacuumed it all, and then I grabbed the Dyson vacuum and vacuumed it all up nice. And I'm telling you, I don't even think I need to clean the carpets.
That's
I
awesome.
don't think so either. I
Gave
stopped
it
by
a-
to say hello to her. And
Yeah, I gave it a polishing compound
looks
coat,
good.
and I got to give it a wax still. I want to give it a nice wax, but that'll wait not until maybe later this week. You know. Yes. I have a Ranger Z520 with 250, an Evinrude 250 HO on it. She's a Kickstarter, man. I love that
She's a
boat.
beast. Dual power poles.
Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah,
got to get
it's a
my
nice
new
boat.
graphs put on. I got a couple of 12-inch graphs I got to get installed on there now. So, you know.
Nice. Well, I'm really hoping with that we'll be able to enjoy some new lakes, and maybe we can figure out a way that we can do like fear fishing tournaments between the three of us on new lakes that we've never seen before. I think
Mark's
that'd be
already
pretty.
up one. Mark's already up 1-0.
Yeah, I am.
That's yeah.
Right.
He's setting himself up for failure this summer.
Yeah, but I'm
But,
a champion now, so live for the moment.
Live it.
kinda
You can
shit
have
right
you can
here.
have your moment right now. You dinger flinger. Here's some of the
Yeah,
lakes.
buddy.
Here's some of the lakes. In the vlog, I asked about new lakes, and I want your guys' opinion. I already ran by these, but anybody in the comments, let us know about lakes. I'd really like to go. Some of these that we've been to, but I'd like to go to a couple brand new lakes where none of us have ever seen it. 8 hours on the water. I'll get you guys a GoPro, and then
Mano a mano.
that. Do you know what I mean? Like never seen
Yeah.
the lake, figure it out, right? You got to get 5 bites. Maybe we can do like I'm sure we trust each other. Maybe we can do like we meet back and we all weigh our own bags or something, for we can do our social distance jam. But here's some of the ones. Coochicheng, I've never been to Cooch. I'm going to go to Cooch and Simcoe. We're on the list. I fished Simcoe a ton in the fall. I've never been in the summer.
I love fishing Cooch.
Yeah, Cooch is cool.
I'm gonna film a
I like
vlog on
Cooch.
each of those. Skumata. Have you guys ever fished there? North of
Nope.
it has a badass name. And the message that came with that said it's full of largemouth. So Elephant Lake. You guys ever fish that?
Yep.
When I like a long time before I got into fishing again, just like a couple buddies, we went out for a weekend to buddy's cottage. That was it.
Oh,
It was fun. It was walleye fishing though, and we hammered them. It was good.
Mercer just texted me and he said that he's in to fish those tournaments with us.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah?
so that would give us 4.
He's my partner.
No partners. Every man
No
for
partners,
himself.
man. Mano a mano.
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 We got 2 for Balsam. I'd like to go to Balsam. I like Balsam.
Balsam's off the list.
We fish balsam enough, man.
Yeah.
What
No.
about Shandos? You guys ever fish Shandos?
I'd fish Shandos.
I went there once and fished for 2 hours for a photo shoot, but that was a smoking good looking lake.
I don't know if I've ever fished Shandos before. Maybe
You went-
once.
Maybe once.
Maybe. I don't think I have, but it definitely sounds familiar. So
I
maybe.
have a little tiny lake that Marley and I fished a long time ago that you could do on a trolling motor in a couple hours, that has ginormous smallies. I know somebody who lives close to the area. If we can get our boats into there, we'll have a smasher of a time on a crazy cool lake where you can drop shot small largemouth in 25 feet of water. It's so clear.
Really?
And it's super, like it's awesome. It'll be a question if we can get those big bass boats in there, but it is a super, super cool lake. There's some smallmouth spots there. Lots of fish, lots of big fish.
We'll do an MLS style that way. Right?
Yeah. Oh, it's not like a numbers lake, but it is. You'll catch like 15 decent fish. But it's crazy cool on your electronic. Unlike your electronics, you can kind of cruise along and you'll start seeing hooks in 25 feet of water.
Really?
You drop your drop shot down and jig them, and they're like the whitest largemouth you've ever seen. They come up. It's crazy awesome. But I'd be excited to do this.
I'm in.
Yeah,
Yes.
If I don't have to burn any gas and I can do it on the trolling motor.
Yeah, it's just a little tiny light.
Warren McRae says he's in too.
Nice.
We're gonna have a party.
You guys want to talk about what we're doing Thursday night?
What are we doing Thursday night?
Absolutely.
What are we doing?
We got a big show.
East Hill Outdoors is going digital with Daiwa. There's 7 p.m. Thursday night, May 28th.
This Thursday.
This Thursday.
Yes.
Something. This has never been done before. I've been explaining to people I talk to. It's like a Tupperware party, but fishing gear. You guys are going to come on. Chris and Corey Johnson are coming on, and Seth Fighter. There's going to be giveaways, deals on rods and reels during the show.
Are we going to East Hill?
I'm not 100%. I know I'm going to East Hill. I don't know if you two are going to East Hill, but East Hill's open now, so I'm sure you guys can come in. We can do it that way. The doors are open at East Hill. I was there this morning.
Sweet.
Yeah, I haven't figured it out, but that would probably make it more better.
Okay, well, I'm sure we'll have a production meeting before we do that.
Yeah, where we got to go over that. The boys are at East Hill right now testing the whole system. But it's going to be huge. It's going to be a ton of fun. There'll be giveaways, contests, and you're going to get to hear from Corey and Chris and Mark and Sean and myself and Seth Fighter about, more about Daiwa, what combos we like to use, what, 2020 is here. Bass. I'm so jacked to fish bass. I'm so excited about Thursday night. But is there anything you guys, like before we do the live show, that we can get FearFishing viewers? Is there anything you're jazzed up about using in 2020?
Well, I'm pretty happy that we went down to Florida, Mark and I, and I got to use the new pitching and flipping reel. Like, that thing is the cat's ass.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. It helps you keep that bait so parallel to the water, and your entry, the bait doesn't make noise on entry, and it helps you slow down that plunk. It's like so much easier
you can
to
feel
control. Yeah,
you can feel it. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
can feel it. And like it's really hard to explain. I used one last fall a little bit, but when you like flip it out, you can feel the reel doing the work for you. Like
Yeah, it's
driving
doing
it.
its thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to explain to somebody, but if you grabbed one of those things and threw a flipping jig, you'd really understand what it's doing. Mark, are you excited about anything?
I think those BLX rods are going to be something. They're right up my alley, right? They're like a finesse rod. They got two different like versions. There's the SG and the LG. Is it LG? Yeah. I think it's the sensitive graphite and the limber graphite. So they're made for somebody that wants a soft rod, finesse stuff. Soft rod, limber tip.
On Sunday when we were out silver bass
sweet.
fishing, I brought the brand new Tatua SV. I threw a quarter ounce swim bait, like a little tiny swim bait, 3-incher.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe how far that new Tatua SV casts with such a light, small bait.
Well, that's the whole deal with those reels, right?
Yeah, like unbelievable how small of a bait it is, and it fires a mile. I'm excited about that, and there's a couple new lines of rods that I'm really jazzed about using this year, that I'll talk about on Thursday night. But tune in 7 p.m. on the East Hill Outdoors Facebook. Going to be live. It's going to be huge. There's going to be a ton of savings. Remember last year we did Daiwa night at East Hill?
Yeah, it was amazing.
That was a great night.
So since we can't do that because of the social distancing, we're going to do it online. Same feel, same fun. But, and do you guys remember last year when that young lad hit that 50% off?
When his mom, he's going to get, his mom said she would buy him a rod if he hit the 40%, I think it was, wasn't it? Was it 40%?
It was something crazy like that.
Yeah, which is a smoking deal.
Yep.
And he actually drank it.
Like
it was amazing. It was amazing.
She was a good lady.
She was. And that kid, I'll never forget the atmosphere in the room when he hit, it was the perfect shot. And then the room exploded. It went crazy.
I'm pretty sure his name was Justin.
Yeah, Justin Clark, maybe. Clark.
Nice.
Yep.
That sounds
right.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed that rod this year or last year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Here's a question.
Okay, so go right ahead.
From our buddy Chris Flay. Can the Johnson boys cross the border for the next elite event on June 10th at Eufaula?
I don't know 100%, but I did hear a rumor that the three of them will be going, that they're working, explaining their situation to the government on both sides of the border, and Chris and Corey and Gussie are going to be able to go.
Well, that's
not 100%, but we will find out Thursday. I will make sure that I ask the boys that. But from what I've heard in the rumor mill, they're going to be there and they're excited to go.
I'll bet they are.
Let's jump right into there. Eufaula, June 10th.
Yep.
But how do you feel about the season for the boys? Well, here, first off, have you guys missed watching bass live?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think
course.
watching bass live is the best way to learn about bass fishing because they can't hide any of their secrets, right? Like they show you the
Well,
juice.
you get to see what they're doing.
I always
you get
like
to see
it when
how many of them really are flinging a dinger.
I always listen closely when I hear Corey or Chris say, "Yeah, we do this back home."
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
sure.
Write that one on the list of things to try in the summer when you hear that on the Bass Live. So I've missed watching Bass Live a tremendous amount. Like I really, really enjoy watching Bass Live. I'm a huge fan of the sport of fishing.
Yeah.
What do you guys think
I don't
they're
watch
odds?
it as much as you.
No, I shut life
but
down
I do. Like
sometimes to
I
watch it.
yeah.
Like
But
if something
if
big's
I get a
happening,
chance to tune in, see what's going on during the day or something, I'll bring it up.
Oh, I'm burning
sure.
data like 90 on tournament days,
Yeah.
man. I don't care. It's on. I'm listening
Yeah.
to it in my earpods and I'm working. I don't even care.
it is intense. Like when there's a good event going on, sometimes they're a little slow or stuff doesn't really work out. But when they're like when Bass is the St. John's River last year, you couldn't have got me to go out of this house from
No way.
no, I wasn't late.
That
Like
was
at
the real
any
deal.
second.
Yeah.
That was the real deal. The time that we were eating Sonic and screaming at Jason Christie at the Classic. Well,
that was
For one
great,
fish,
dude.
tie on a
One
dinger,
fish.
buddy.
Tie
on
on
a dinger.
Yeah, man.
Like, what
That
is your
was a-
problem?
Who does that?
Just tie on a dinger.
There's something intense about bass fishing when stuff like that happens. Tommy Sanders and Zona and the crew they're the best guys in fishing when, in my opinion, when it comes to MCing events.
Oh, they definitely click.
Yeah, it's got a real smooth go. So the Johnson brothers got off to a slow start this year because they've run 2 events, right? The Classic and one
only
tournament.
one event.
One event
counts
counts
for the
yeah,
season.
towards
One
the
against
season,
counts. They've run 2, but
Yeah.
they've had a slow start to the go. How do you
Yeah.
think the rest of the schedule shapes up for the boys?
I think they get better as the year goes on every year.
I think that having Champlain, Waddington, the St. Lawrence, and St. Clair really plays into all 3 of our Canadians.
Yeah.
hands.
Are those the last
it
3
does.
events?
No, they're the middle 3, and then the
Yeah.
last tournament is back in South Carolina, I believe. I had the schedule here, but I closed it by accident. But
At
yeah,
Hartwell?
not Hartwell. Not
There you go.
Hartwell. It'll come up in the comments here in a minute. I'm pumped. I can't watch any more monkey racing on TSN. Like or sports.
Or
Channel. Like,
video game NASCAR. Video game
Did you
NASCAR.
see that when I posted
I'd
it,
seen it. I couldn't believe it, buddy. I thought, are you kidding me?
Honest to God, I was sitting on the couch and I was flipping through and I saw NASCAR and I'm not a big NASCAR fan and I thought I'm going to watch this. This is pretty exciting. And then I had to call Amber in and I'm like, is this a video game that I just invested 40 minutes into? And I guess they're all somewhere driving like NASCAR simulators.
Yep. That's exactly what they're doing.
Isn't that insane?
That's crazy.
It is
That's
insane.
crazy.
You know what's even more insane? A buddy sent me a picture the other day. He's got one of those in his living room.
No way.
He's
He should have
invested.
logged on, man.
He's
He never
invested
did.
that much money into something like that for his living room. It's insane.
I-
He's got
I-
the
I-
screen that pulls right up close to him. He's
really?
got the steering wheel, the gear shift, the crazy race chair. Oh, it's nuts. He's like, hey, remember when we used to play Gran Turismo when we were kids? I'm like, yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, boom.
That's amazing. That's
Look
super
at
cool.
me.
And I was like, you remember when we used to fish out of that little tinner? And boom, I sent him a picture of my bass boat. We don't talk all the time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool.
So-
I gotta. Have you guys ever seen Joe Rogan's archery game?
Yes. It's
Yeah,
insane.
you seen that? Isn't that awesome?
Virtual reality.
That's my life goal to have that so we can play in like
Yeah.
a man cave. Like hey, it's very so Mark, it's like a screen. You
Yeah.
use your compound bow and it's got like a censored tip on it. It'll show like a video of a whitetail coming in, like a real video. You draw your bow, shoot, and then it tells you if it was like a vital kill or and you can go through hundreds and hundreds of different scenarios: elk hunting, pig hunting.
Yeah.
Crazy cool,
We
eh?
We should have that.
Do you think that stuff like this becomes the norm? More of this, less?
I
You know,
hope
and,
not.
like, I hope not too. Here's a question I got for the both of you. People are a lot more friendly when they walk by your house these days. I've noticed that people want to say hello. Like
Yeah.
everybody walks by here. Hey, good
I
morning.
think
How
so
are
too.
you? People are
I
like
think so
excited
too.
to see people right now, 6 feet apart.
It's amazing how when anything like a wrench gets thrown into life, how nice people become. Like, look at the blackout. There was neighbors talking to neighbors that have never met each other. You know, they're out there having like the blackout brought a lot of neighborhoods together. Let's put it that way. Like I know people that never even talked and knew their neighbors, but after that, they all, had friendships after that.
We're just
Yeah.
You know what I
lucky
mean?
that that happened in the summertime and not in the wintertime, or there would have been a lot of places going up in smoke.
Yeah. Do you guys remember where
Oh
you were?
yeah.
I was in Bowmanville partying for 3 days with no power.
With no
So
power?
we
know
ate
what?
all the food that we had. We ate all the food that we had in the
Was that
freezer, and we drank
Christmas?
our faces off.
That Christmas it happened.
No, it was 3 days
No,
in the
summer.
summer, dude. Yeah,
Summer.
it was.
Yeah.
Summer? Oh, that was the ice storm I'm thinking of. The ice storm.
Yeah, the ice storm was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ice storm was
Yeah,
in
because we were in Florida
February.
for that.
Yeah, the ice storm was February 2012.
So I remember this vividly. I was at the farm cutting hay, and like the power going out was going to affect, like I didn't know. So I was cutting hay, and I was supposed to go on a date. And I got back to the farm, and my grandfather, I was like, I gotta go. I got a date. He's like, well, here's the bad news. There's no power anywhere in Ontario. So you might as well start going to draw hay because you're not leaving. Yeah. I just remember him being like, nope, plans have changed. You're not going out for dinner. You better
Yeah.
just go start drawing hay with the tractor. You might as well do it all night because there's no power anyway.
Yeah.
I remember there was
So-
no gas. Remember all the gas turned off?
That
only
was the
place
first time I guess I $1 a liter.
Yeah, the only place you could get it is like a marina. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but their gas pumped work, or they had gas or whatever. So yeah, you paid a premium, but you could at least fill your truck up.
I do remember that at the gas station at Fowler's Corners, it rounded their gas up to $1, and their pumps were working. Like you could get gas, but it was $1 a liter, right? $20 to get you 20 liters. And I remember my grandfather being pissed, furious, money gouging, pissed, furious
For sure.
for a
Yeah,
buck a
man.
liter. Yeah, that was crazy. So I'm really glad. Like, if we had to go through this COVID thing, I'm glad that we got locked down in March and April rather than June, July, August.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
even notice this COVID thing anymore because I'll tell you what, I pretty much stay up right off social media and I don't watch the news anymore. I was going into such a bad place in my head after all this stuff. It was right after Trudeau pulled this bullshit with the gun ban.
Yeah.
I had to back away or I'm gonna lose.
I haven't
my
watched
shit.
any news either. Honest to God,
Yeah.
like
Just
speaking of
all
that,
the negativity and then that and all the politicking, and I'm ready to spin a cog.
I've been trying to get up early. I've been going to planning stuff. Like now that we know we're going to fish, I've been working hard to plan ideas and come up with stuff. I chatted a bunch with Woody today on some new ideas I had. But I've been trying to walk the dogs. I've been turkey hunting a little bit. Speaking of that, my PAL came. I got my new Winchester XSP Sunday, and we went with Amber and the Bear Stoles, and we did our social distance clay shoot, which was awesome. We're going to do that again in a couple weeks, I think. But I've been trying to just stay active and not like, it is very depressing to watch the news. Like, I know at the start we all had to get informed of what was going on, but now it just seems like dragging on.
I can't do it anymore, man.
I can't do it
can't.
anymore either.
I can't do the Facebook. I can't do the bullshit. I just can't. So I've been getting messaged, like even people messaging me on my phone. People message. I won't even look at my phone for like a day, 2 days. I won't look at messages. I won't nothing. I just try to
That's
get away
true.
from everything, right?
Because you called me the other day just to say hi. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, because I don't really look at the messages, or if it says I'll have message, I'll just hit it so it clears, right?
Yeah.
So I don't see how many messages I have. Sometimes,
Do you think
no,
it's
honest,
true story?
hey,
Yeah.
I just, because I don't want to see it on my phone. I just, because I wanted to get away from everything for a while, right? Like I just,
You want to build a pool?
don't be a dick. Who does that?
I feel like totally. I've done the same thing, Shawnee. It was really wearing on my. I had to keep up to date for at the start to know what to do with the family and stuff. But I haven't watched it in weeks and weeks because is becoming depressing. I'm just living my regular life now, trying to stay away from people.
Yeah.
Anybody who messages me wanting to talk about what may come or what may, I don't have time for those conversations. I want to talk about positive stuff and positive. I've been trying to walk a lot more because I'm getting fat.
I noticed that.
I had to take my large Under Armour suit back because I needed an extra large.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying to be more active. I've been trying to get up. We walk the dogs, that kind of stuff, and just I've got some vitamin D. I got a suntan, pretty good one. I already got tan lines on my feet from being out on the boat, and I feel way better just ignoring that situation. I'm sure that if something big happens or the world's going to end, that somebody's going to notify me. Other than that, I'm just trying to be the best Ian that I can possibly be every day.
There you go.
What else you're supposed to do, right? Like
I've been immersing myself balls deep in work.
I just saw a comment about fear mongering, and it like sometimes I feel like the mainstream news is so in need of a story that they do a little bit of fear mongering.
100%. That's what sells their papers, man. Yeah.
You need a story,
Don't
right?
believe a word of it.
Yeah.
You can't, you can't believe what you hear. They'll take one small rumor and run a mile with it because they need 24 hours of news. The other thought here, I'm just going to throw this out there while we're on there. I wonder how many amazing things have happened in the world since COVID that didn't get reported on.
Oh, tons of stuff, I'm sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's really sad that this is just taken over. There's got to have been cures for something or, positive things that happen. And it's just full of this, like, it's overbearing for the bad news.
Yeah, it was killing me, man. It was killing me.
Yeah.
So I just sink myself into work, and that's it. Try to keep busy, crazy busy. And then
Coming
I got
over
into
tomorrow?
this. Then, hey,
I wanna
buddy,
help
you want to build a pool? Who wants to build a pool?
Worst idea ever.
Yeah, get into this.
Yeah.
I stopped by and chucked a couple turkey feathers to you, Mark, for your dad.
My dad wanted a couple wing feathers or
Wings.
something. So
Yeah, he's
wings.
going to do
He wanted wings.
He wanted
some
wings for
fletchings
fletching for his arrows.
Yeah.
So that's pretty hardcore. So your dad's. Does he make the arrows or is he buying?
His
the
dad's a
arrows and then fletching?
savage, bud.
He is.
My dad's gonna refletch some arrows, I believe.
Refletch.
Yeah.
But
So if you know what
everybody-
he say, he needs a couple more turkey wings. He says.
Okay. So
I guess he's picky. He's picky with his
He's
feathers.
picky.
Oh,
So
wow.
everybody at home should know that your dad's like all in. Your dad doesn't want to read tank magazines. Your dad has tank.
Builds them. Yeah, he
Builds them.
refurbishes them and stuff. Yeah.
Give
Yeah,
a
he's
shout
got
out
his
to
own
where
little,
that is.
Remember that time we were going to steal one of those tanks when Mark was in Florida?
No, and my dad told us how to drive it.
Yeah.
He
Set
gave us
him
all the
right up.
information we needed.
Yeah, we
like,
did.
inadvertently. My dad is a volunteers at the Tank Museum in Oshawa by the airport. They're a really cool place. If you have never been there, the amount of military vehicles and tanks and that they have out there will blow your mind. They have tank days up there. Then they have one where they actually have like a battle reenactment. They go through all kinds of pyrotechnics. Like they're blasting these tanks off and they're blasting these cannons.
I'd really like to go. I know we say every year that we're going to try to go. I'd really, really like
but
to go.
But it's always a
check this out
tournament weekend, right? It's always a tournament weekend. We're never here, so maybe this year we gotta do it.
How?
I don't believe it's open to the public. No, Woody. No. But check out their Facebook. They got a really good social media Facebook. Ontario Tank Museum, I believe it's called. Ontario Regiment Tank Museum, maybe.
I've looked at the Facebook page and checked out the pictures. It's super awesome. I really enjoy when I get to talk to your dad too about it. He's very passionate about it.
He's got his little ferret. He's got a ferret there, like an armored ferret. that he takes care of. It's a United Nations, so it's all up in white and stuff. It's a pretty cool machine. And at 80 years old, still squeezing into it.
We're totally stealing a tank one day.
Yeah,
totally.
You know what? Like talking about that in tournaments, I missed it. Like we've all had to miss out on a lot to fish tournaments over the years. I'm really excited this year that even before this COVID thing, I had no plans on fishing any series. I was going to do some club events, and I wasn't going to sign up for any club events that I had to 100% be at for that I could go do other stuff. But miss out on a lot, eh? Like there's been a ton of parties and adventures and stuff I really wanted to see. And I'm excited to go fun fishing and explore Ontario's new lakes. But I'm also really excited to do stuff like this because we never get to go because by the time tournament season's wrapped up, there's nothing going on.
Yeah, you know what? That would mean the world to my dad if we all showed up there. He would be in his glory.
And
I know he
would
love that. He would love that.
Of the 108 podcasts, at least we talk about this every year, and then you know, you got to be there, you got to be here. I'm so excited not to fish Sturgeon Lake opening weekend. So excited.
Me too, man.
I'm so looking forward to not having to fish the Classic.
Where is the Classic? I don't I don't even know.
It's on.
But I'm so excited.
It's on Lake of Bays, which is really cool. I would have loved to have done that, but
I'm really excited to go for us to pick some, like, go there and have a smash fest. How like what was the last time you Sean? It's been 3 years since we even set hook on opening day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like picking through. Yeah. Like I'm so excited to explore Ontario. Of the 10,000.
No, actually, last year we went on Rice opening day because I sprained my ankle.
Yes, we did because we had to do a kids derby.
Yeah.
Yeah. We stopped by kids derby.
We went out in the morning and got to jam a few fish.
I'm excited to go to a lake that I've never been to, or one of those places where I really know how to pound on them and let loose on opening day.
Mm-hmm.
In the whole summer, I'm just excited to go and do new stuff. I'm sure that Carnegie will come fish FearFishing tournaments with us too.
Oh, sure, but Shuey wants to be in there too.
Yeah, so I'm sure we can get a bunch of guys.
We're gonna have the tinners.
He says the tinner's in.
Yeah, so that's exciting for me to go to a new lake. I don't know how, I'll fish a couple during the week. But then, we can pick a weekend date and just pick a lake to go to and give it a go.
I like those northern lakes, those rock, those deep rock one. I like pretty lakes. Let's do some pretty lakes, so that way I can get that picture of the sunset when I don't catch nothing. It looks better.
Yeah, those two walleye will look huge by July.
That's why I'm taking this championship seriously now, because
Kevin, Woody, is Kevin excited to go fishing? Is he there yet? He's starting to talk about it now. Is he over the pellet guns? Is fishing number one again? That's exciting. The other thing, Emma has been fishing a ton by herself. I hooked Emma up with a Daiwa AccuLite float rod and a spinning reel, and she's been going. I think every day for the last week, her and Isaac have been going to the creeks and fishing.
Nice.
Waders on the whole 9 yards, sending pictures. It took a long time. Emma was more she would come and do a FearFishing tournament. She came turkey hunting a couple times, but something maybe being in the house too much, and she's been fishing a ton. I've been picking her up, dropping her off.
Well, the malls aren't open.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Right, the gyms aren't open. There's no sports for kids. There's nothing else really for them to do.
There's no day camps, summer camps. There's gonna be nothing.
What else is there to do?
Nothing.
Do you think we're going to see
no hockey,
an influx? Do you think we're going to get more kids this summer because there's limited choices?
I sure hope so.
I do too.
I sure hope so.
Right? I've already seen. I've read a couple of articles actually on that predicts that fishing will get busier this year just because everything else is closed down. Right?
I will tell you, like there was a change here. You know, a month ago, it was really hard to sell a rod and reel. They're flying off the shelves now. Everybody's messaging about Daiwa. A month ago, it was like absolutely pulling teeth to get somebody to invest in a combo. My cousin Levi messaged me last night. His 2 young boys needed Daiwa combos or fishing combos. I said that he still had the deal on the walleye combos. Called this morning. The boys have got new rods and reels for the summer.
Good stuff.
Like
Awesome.
they're like, there's not a whole lot of options of stuff to do outside with your kids right now.
That's right.
And
And I
fishing is a
think,
great one.
you know, like everybody lost those show seasons where they usually purchase their stuff. You know,
Yep.
we lost a few big shows, and I don't think people are gonna necessarily spend less on fishing. Like, I think they're just gonna make their purchases later. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't
Yep.
think the retailers are gonna lose. They're gonna lose a little bit, I would say, but I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna have like some pretty damn good weeks coming up, or months even, as far as sales go.
I think that there's going to be a boom here too. I want to give a big shout out to Pro Water Baits. Vic Morris sent me a box of baits today. I'll give you guys some. Big shout out to Jack Links. Woody, what a
Thanks,
package delivery today, eh? Boys, I've got jerky for you the next time I see you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
come over and help with the pool tomorrow.
My favorite.
Well, I could chuck some Jack Links out the window for you guys.
Yeah, you can do it.
I can swing by and make sure you never ask me to help with the pool again, just like the painting.
Please do.
But I will bring you some Jack Links. I was pretty excited when Woody messaged me today about it.
Nice.
The new swag from Jack Links is awesome too. Woody, those new T-shirts are amazing. I wish I could remember it off the top of my head, but I'll have to show you guys the new T-shirts from Jack Links.
Yeah,
they're awesome. It
Yeah.
is really funny. Big shout out to Pro Water Baits, guys. We're not going to drag this on forever tonight. You guys got final thoughts?
Already?
Whoa. Final thought. Whoa.
Final thoughts? Okay. If you ever have the idea of putting a pool in, hire somebody. Don't do it yourself.
You can hire me.
Or you have a great friend like Sean McCall, who's been an absolute champion, and he's not done yet. And he's still got a smile on his face. Look at
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna build your vitamin D up again tomorrow, bud.
Yeah, we are.
Final thoughts: just stay safe. Take your kids fishing, or take a neighbor's kids fishing. Even don't make it look creepy or anything like that. If you see a kid on your street never goes out, just take them fishing.
Yeah, can I jump in here for a second? And Woody, when I left your house, I drove down the street. Like I was on my way home with, and these kids yelled from their scooters, "Hey, we watch your vlog."
No way.
So I jumped out of they were like, "Bro, we watched the vlog." So I parked the truck and I was like, "Hey boys, you want some Jack Links?" And I hooked them right up with a couple armfuls. So they were like trying to scooter. Imagine like trying to hold your scooter, but they had like armfuls of Jack Links and they're trying to go up the street and they're like, "Yeah, tell all your friends to subscribe."
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, Johnny boy.
My final thought: if it's negative in your life and it's bugging you, get rid of that shit. Chuck it. Turn it off. Unplug. Distance yourself. Get back to your happy place. Don't be afraid of that.
See? That's really good advice. Life's really short to be upset about it.
You got the winning
or to
spot
allow
first.
anybody to upset you. You do.
Come on.
That was all I had was glitches there. It says my internet's unstable. Anyways, do your best, don't sweat the rest. Pretty simple tonight.
Pretty simple.
I love you, Bill Gates, and let's keep things.
Bill Gates came through for us.
We're friends again?
Don't mess with my stuff, Bill.
Yeah, my final thought goes on with Sean too. Just throw away the negativity. Do things that make yourself happy. That's where it really counts. If any of you young people are going to start filming while because school's out, you'll make videos that you think that other people will like. Make videos that you're going to like, so that when you go through the process of editing it all, at the end of it, you feel like you have something that you've accomplished. Trying to please the world is never going to work. Please yourself first, and others will follow. The other thing, if you got a lake in Ontario within a couple 3-hour drive of my house that you would like us to fish, drop it, send me a private message. I'd be happy to check them out. I'm really excited to see the rest of Ontario and catch some big northern bass this year.
And if you had 3 extra rooms, come out the night
6
before.
feet apart.
What do you mean?
I thought about that. I'm going to sleep in the truck all summer. I had taken that into consideration. Mark, you think we're going to get to go bear hunting?
Sure.
Maybe.
Let's do it.
Maybe.
Yeah, let's do it. Maybe.
Maybe.
If I get this pool up.
Let me know. Guys, girls, everybody who tuned in, please subscribe to everybody's Instagram, everybody's Facebook. Check it out. If you're on YouTube right now, hit subscribe. If you're on iTunes, rate that 5-star. If you're going to give us a 4, just stay the hell home. Love you all. Thanks.
Don't forget about Thursday.
Don't forget about Thursday. Eastville Digital. I promise you, if you're a fan of Daiwa, you're going to want to tune in. It'll be worth your time. Good night, everybody.
Lloyd, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Lloyd.
Lloyd's birthday today. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Lloyd.
Happy birthday, Lloyd. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
My soul, my heart, you stole with the lies that you told. Hoping I would never know you like your plan. Want me to be another man you control. But lo and behold, to see its days. Believe me when I say that the people will unite as one. The fight is never done until the right has overcome and the wrong is washed away. My soul was there, and now I'm here. Don't mean that I don't care. Some ain't sincere, some are fair. But when the power's clear, integrity is rare. But I ain't gonna sit cope with the facts and lay down with the hope.
Are you leaving, Mark?
And enjoy to the max what you got, where you at.
You gotta unmute yourself.
Well, what they try to do is sedate us, teach us how to hate and separate us. Never really wanna tell it straight, just pretending what is great while they try to recreate us. My soul, my heart, you stole with the lies that you told. Hoping I would never know